All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Chihayafuru, Season 1, Episode 20. The tournament is over. They are maybe we're going to get to see them have the food afterwards. I would absolutely love that.
Just enjoy the fruits of their labor. You know, Kana, Tsutomu, advanced both to the next rank. Wonderful.
Nishida, you advanced to Class A. Way to go.
Yep. You will at some point face Chihaya in round 1 and, lose, to, her by like 5 cards or something.
You will get the opportunity of facing Arata, maybe,
Oh, boy.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. It's a rough life out there.
She's just not that into you.
She's just there enough as a friend to give you the while you were sleeping, shoulder headrest.
She loves you when you're emotionally supporting her.
Yep. But that's what friends are for, right?
That's
right.
what
friends are for. But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right. No food.
Okay.
Oh,
wait, maybe food. Chihaya's thinking. Oh, nice.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah. Distance and proportion.
Oh, that's so sick. They're like, we're already back from grabbing food, but... A 10! I love it. Damn. You don't have to do her dirty like that.
Is he, though?
Bottom 5 is kind of an achievement,
Yeah,
Like,
it really is.
You have to be a special kind of, like,
not paying attention,
you know? I do think that there's some problems in the school system that put certain people at a disadvantage when it comes to test taking.
Yes.
Like, test taking is a skill.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with your level of intelligence.
In the same way that grinding rank in a game is also a skill. It's not just
But that being said, you have to be a special kind of distracted to be bottom 5.
Right. If you don't have some like very specific like reason for it, then it's like
and it's kind of funny though is that like we know she doesn't have many friends. Like right. So it's not like she has this like crazy social life. It's she grinding a game.
Yep.
Which I respect.
Gotta hit Grandmaster in League of Legends.
Yeah. Yep, your grades suck.
Finals?
Ah! Seriously? For real?
But karate is my future.
Never came up.
Oh. Fantastic.
Yep. Yes. Bruh, she's gonna fail everything. Like,
yeah.
Yep. Thanks for reminding me.
Oh, okay, that is a thing, yeah.
Ah, gotcha. Oh! Yeah, so be grateful. All right, we're cutting straight to the tournament.
Maybe because Chihaya won't be there, he'll actually be able to win.
Oh no. Hey. Oh no. Oh no.
Is he gonna be here?
That's cruel. So this isn't even an easy tournament to do well,
No.
in. You're not facing Class B players anymore. Oh, there he is.
Uh-huh.
What is this aura I'm sensing?
Yeah, he can sense the malice. Oh my god.
It's actually really sweet.
It
but
is.
It's so funny how, the world
Yeah,
works.
uh-huh.
Ah! They don't care about the players. They're like, the coaches, yeah. Whoa, yeah. So, hi. See you. Yeah. Can you give this to
Passing
Chihaya
notes.
for me? Wait. Wait. His line ID?
Yeah, his contact info, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, but they said Class A and B tournament. So he's not facing Class A players.
No.
Oh, good. Okay,
Yeah,
so he
yeah.
won't even face Arata then.
No.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Arata.
thought this was way worse.
Oh, yeah, then.
I thought.
Oh my god.
Why are you running?
It'll be just like normal.
Yeah, I was gonna say it, but.
Yeah. Work the strings.
Yeah. The strings of his heart. Oh.
100% I think he got thrown off by seeing Arata.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Now that you've lost, I'm gonna move on to Arata. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, hey, guess what? Taichi's alone and he's lost again.
Oh, here we go.
Sad boy is sad.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What is this? That's beautiful. He's at the bottom of the ocean, just that's all there is for me. Alone in the dark.
But god damn it, why did he have to show up?
Yeah, because we've both been waiting eagerly, right?
Yep.
We've both been waiting so eagerly, right? Yeah, and you remember that emotion. You remember that. Yeah, but also. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go back! We can go back! Yep.
坪口博さん、白波から高いのキリ来い、キリだ、キリ、絶対キリ、キリキリキリキリキリキリキリ。原田先生が奥にいる。
Nice. Okay, holding that.
ありがとうございました。取れてた。やった。でもほぼ運だ今のは。なのに追いつかれた。他の2枚なら取られてた。
Almost made it to the semifinals though. Damn.
Yeah.
遅えよ。
バカ。
ヒロシさんはうちのエースなんだ。ブランクが1年半もあるやつに負けねえよ。
Oh.
Right.
I love you, bitch.
Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to leave.
お前も。
Nope.
なんでハートルのなんでカラ札動かないの送り札の時間のかけ方なんで
おい、ちはや。
That's not Chihaya. She's writing legibly.
Yeah.
なんや、戦う前からそんな怖い顔をしてるんか。
Ah. Ah, this episode has just been art.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
何やってるんだ
帰んのか。もう南雲会の人勝ち残ってへんし、今から出ても福井つくの深夜や。じゃあ自分で教えてけよ。
Yeah.
お前の携帯番号。
Yeah, I don't want any part in this part of
俺に
things.
任されても困んだよ。いやでも俺は分からんし。何が。
Oh. Hope?
千早と太一が付き合ったりしても分からんし。
Ah! Ah! He addressed it directly!
Uh-huh. Yep.
お前意外といろいろ考えてんだな。
Ah!
So, Arata,
離れてるで。
I would compare myself to a snowball in hell.
ほんとしない1秒も無駄にはさせませんよ教科書見て
He also hasn't directly initiated with Chihaya.
Nope.
Ever.
Nope.
巡り相手紫式部ですかなんか新たなことみたいいつもちょこっとしか会えない恋の歌に聞こえるけど幼なじみの女の子との別れを歌ってるんだよね
Damn.
本当ぴったりだ
For you and him, yeah.
恋の歌に聞こえる
Oh, she's doing the touch the bottom lip thing.
Oh my god.
電車の中でお滑り禁止駒野先生すいませんでした抜け出して
マシマの結果かなちゃんがメールで教えてくれた
He
落
said
ち込んで
in
なか
the
ったか
text, yeah.
I don't remember.
こんだけカルタに時間をかけても学年1位から落ちたことないやりたくないことも思いっきりやらなきゃいけない
Yep, that's life.
Mm-hmm.
That's life.
すみませんでしたガリガリやります今から
俺もう英語まで完璧だもん。
見ていますから
Yes, you will.
私はともかくヒロシ君何11枚差って試合できて満足しちゃって悔しくはないのか。まあこんなもんですか。新たとの試合は何考えてんのかよくわかんないのによく考えてんの。周防名人はものともしない。名人 A 級成り立ての選手との対戦に名人の名前を出す見ればよかった。二人の試合を見てればよかった。
Hey,
Oh.
stop it with the should'ves, would'ves, and
Yeah.
if onlys.
夏 B 級準優勝を2回したね。規定では A 級になれる立派な成績だ。
Yes! There's hope!
昇級して東日本予選に出るかい？
Oh!
あやちゃんとメガネ君が
昇級
2番線回送列車が通過します。
悔しさの賞味期限は長くない。ちゃんと報われることがないと。
Without something, an offering, a little
Yep.
morsel. Take it, you bastard! No!
くださいよ先生。
Come on!
俺は
Oh,
誰より
oh, he's about to say
出
something.
ないやつになりたい。
Oh! Oh! Holy shit, that was so badass.
ようね
Good job, Taichi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's got the paper clutched in his hand like so tightly.
Yep.
That's a card he's not ready to play yet.
Right.
Or a card he's not willing to take yet. Wow. Wow.
All right.
You look at the quality in terms of what we got this episode from like the last few. This is like,
oh yeah,
gorgeous.
It's almost like the show is really revolves around the main three characters, and it's kind of beneficial when they're all around.
I mean,
they just bring.
It's a good triangle.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Like,
yep.
When it hits, it hits.
Okay.
All right.
Good job, Mashima.
A gift was given.
Yes.
And you realize what was most important. There's things that you don't want to do that are ahead of the things that you really want.
Yeah.
You need to get past those first.
Right.
And not running away. Damn.
That's what you really want.
Damn.
And of course it is. Right?
Yeah, of course it is.
Good job.
That's the whole thing right there. Yeah.
Like if
Chihaya needs to study, it's like, oh, emotional complexity. Yeah, just study, focus.
Yeah, right.
Taichi, don't run away from the feelings that got you to this place and from the cowardice that kept you from actually engaging directly with not just things that you're bad at, but also relationships, people.
Be strong enough to face myself.
Maybe even also his parents eventually. There's so much complexity within that, and it's like he's not the main character.
I know, and that's why so many times it's not the main character, it's that side character, right? Where it's like,
yeah, I guess.
And yes, he's one of the main characters. He's one of the main three. But if we had to choose one of the three that's a side character, he is the side character of the three. He is the third wheel.
He's even better. He's the second most side character right now because from the side character perspective to the main character, he gets more screen time than Arata, so therefore he's number 2.
Yes.
But in terms of the side characters, he's not the main side character because...
She does not like him.
She does not like him.
Yeah.
No. And it's so wild because probably at this point it's subconsciously the fact that he gave her the at a young age.
Oh, sure.
But she doesn't remember that in any probably seriousness anymore.
Yeah.
It's just for some reason when Arata shows up, my heart just And then when he shows up, it's like,
oh hey,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we still started the show with, her grabbing his arm when she sees him, in the present time and being like, Taichi. Wait, you have a girlfriend? What? But, sorry, bro. But the thing is, when you think about the idea of, being in a relationship with somebody, there's so much work that you have to do on yourself before you can be ready for that. So the fact that...
For one that will actually last.
And so the fact that she's not into him, yes, it absolutely hurts, but you're doing all the things that you should be doing, Taichi, that are the best for you to be doing. You're working on yourself so that... Well, one, just working on yourself. It's its own reward. But that is the kind of thing that you would want to do, where then if... for some reason she were to end up being into you or whatever, right? Which isn't going to happen, but then you're actually in a good place for that, right? So I want to see that continue. I want to see him stand up to his parents and do all that shit, right? Because good job. You're really working on you, and that's what we want. That's what makes a good love story,
That's what makes a good sports story too.
Sure, yeah.
This is the kind of thing that most people forget. Not just that it sucks to lose, but most of the reason why you're doing that sport is because you're good at it.
Sure.
Most people don't follow up and continue in sports or competitive arenas of sorts in things that they consistently don't advance in.
Right.
So if Taichi, who has consistently never won a tournament... in Class B, to be fair, reminder.
He got to Class B, that's impressive.
He did get to Class B, and that's a big deal. But to be stuck at this point a lot of people would just kind of slow down the energy inputs that they're putting into it, right? And would just be comfortable sitting here in Class B because they'd still have fun with it, but they wouldn't build their life around it anymore.
Right.
And so the idea that he frames this around no longer being a person who runs away, I think isn't just humble to acknowledge how much he's run away from things in the past, but specifically to make himself then, you know, framing it as a positive, a person who directly and quickly moves forward.
Right.
That is exactly what Chihaya is. And that's why she's the main character.
And that's probably also why he's in love with her.
Well, yeah, totally,
among other things.
Totally. I mean, there's many reasons for that, but just getting at this decision here, because I don't like the idea that he's just wanting to be good at Arata anymore just because he loves her. That's not the case anymore.
No.
He had a boy crush on her as a little kid because she was passionate, she had all these other things. Oh, and then she chose Arata at a point because that's who she is. She just kind of, I just overly fixate on this thing for a second here. And he's like, well, then I'm into Arata too.
Right.
So no, at this point, it's become its own thing. Not just because he loves her or, you know, has a crush on her. Not just because he wants to beat Arata, but because he sees the person who he was and the person who he's becoming. And he likes that person.
Yes.
He likes the direction that he's going. So it's
louder
just
for the people in the back.
Yeah. He's like, I want to keep at this here. So when someone comes up to him with a, hey, I'm going to give you a bone. I see your frustration. I don't want you to quit. And he's like, you think I'm going to quit?
Yeah.
You think I haven't been in the trenches for years?
Right. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
This ain't enough to stop me.
Yeah, it's been real bloody and messy in here. Right. I had to cut off my own leg last year, you know?
I so badly want him to have a confrontation with his mom where she's trying to get him to quit and he says all the things that you're talking about here, you know? Because you're doing great, Taichi.
All right.
You're doing great. You might not necessarily be getting one of the things that you want, but the fact that you're able to acknowledge to yourself and to others that isn't the only thing that you want. Right? Good job.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I am bummed a little bit that he didn't just take it because there's something to be said for still, having the self-confidence and the value within yourself to know that, hey, taking a gift doesn't undercut the hard work.
Right.
It does potentially undermine the fire that brought you to this hard work. And maybe this is where it's actually pride, is that he doesn't seem like the kind of person who likes to showcase his weakness still.
Yeah.
He would rather hide that. And so, if anything, the part that he still has to learn from, I would say a little bit, is that when Chihaya messes up and makes a mistake, of some kind, she will just, completely lose it.
Yes.
But then within about 2 minutes of that, she's like,
yeah.
Like she's ferociously, voraciously consuming anything and everything that would make her better.
Right. Taichi.
And she kind of has no shame about it. Like it's very, that's also why she's the main character.
Right. Taichi could learn how to process things better.
Yeah.
Right.
And go forward without shame.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that makes sense that's what he needs to work on. It makes sense that he's not working on it yet because it's, he's making plenty of progress right now in some very important areas. And so that can come later. Right.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that,
No. I just see a lot of people who have false humility, through the level of humility, and then the false humility hits because they hit their threshold for how much they're actually willing to, let that continue.
Right.
And then they withhold the hand that would actually just give them something that wouldn't necessarily derail their life journey by giving you the, hey, technically speaking, you should get access to Class A at this point here.
Right.
Like, I love the thing of bringing up that the different Arata societies that you belong to, it's basically the equivalent of like a club that is officially registered. Like, this is the people's, this is the group that you registered under. It's not the league. It's basically like your actual full team registry that you're a part of.
It feels like an old-timey guild or something.
Yeah, it's like a guild. There's a guild master, which is like your director in this case. This is Harada-san, you know?
Yeah.
And it's okay, cool. This is my dojo equivalent.
Right.
And I studied under Harada-sensei, so there's going to be some recognition given within Karuta specifically for the students then of these people and then the master or director or equivalent. But that's not the league. The league rules supersede those, and still the director can choose to basically not pitch the application towards that.
Right.
You could have a player that's in Class B, and the director could be like, no, I don't think we only
do winning tournaments to get to Class A. You know,
right?
You'll be able to get there, just win a tournament. You know,
right? Which is kind of brutal to say the least.
Yeah, it's the we're hardcore, you know, and you're gonna get to Class A and you're gonna kick ass in Class A. You're not just gonna get to Class A and get crushed, at the bottom of the brackets. Or whatever.
One of the things that I kind of like about this is the idea of sports philosophy, because you're right. I think it's a thing of where they do it primarily because we don't want to see you have a horrible losing record in the next class, because that would look bad on us to see you.
Sure.
But I also could see it as a thing of like this is like a thing I've seen very rarely, but I've seen it in other sports somewhat, is there was a rule change that happened recently, and it became a thing where now if you have 2 second place things in a tournament, you advance technically, and they could be like, no, we didn't agree with that rule change. That was something we voted against.
Sure.
So in our society, we're gonna keep it the old way.
Yeah.
To because that's our philosophy on what makes a better Karuta player.
Or just we think a lot of people in Class A are kind of shit. We're like, in order for you to be in Class A, you need to really button up your playing and have it be really clean.
I agree that could be part of it. I do think that falls down a little bit under the scrutiny of, well, then you would beat those lame Class A players if you entered Class A.
Yeah, right. It's the whole thing. Yeah.
I could also see it as being a thing of where, actually, in a lot of ways, you should stay in Class B, because you're going to keep performing very well in Class B. Like, you're going to be winning a lot here. You'll make it to the top 3 pretty consistently. So you'll get more matches than you would if you were in Class A. Because if you go to Class A tournaments, you might be cut out round 1, round 2. But in Class B, you might get like 7 rounds every tournament.
Yeah,
because
more
you're
opportunities.
Consistently getting...
Right, and there still will be areas where you'll have to improve in order to continue to do well. And
you're
stuff.
not going to win it. It's you are just getting more actual playtime and better experience than you would if you were going to Class A.
Yeah.
But, you should win one. You should make an actual statement with it.
But regardless, it's the notion that when you really want something, you take whatever bone life gives you, right? Like don't be so set on the, I thought it would happen this way, therefore I won't accept anything else, because life isn't necessarily going to go the way you think, right? You don't know how it's going to go.
That's a really good point. I haven't even thought about it from the life doesn't grant you the opportunities that you expect for the things that you want. Like, it might grant you the opportunity in a very sideways manner.
Yeah.
And sometimes then, swallow your pride.
Right. Take those.
Like, so there's
it's not a cheat or a shortcut or something like that. It's All right, cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of good perspectives you could have with this decision that Taichi made, and I think those could be cool to go into. But yeah, that's what he decided. Arata's back though.
Yep.
He did lose right before the semifinals. So he did quite well.
Yep.
Not much better though than Taichi did as far as
his
corresponding tournaments here, which I'm glad they cleared up rather quickly there, because for a second there, the idea that they would show up to the same tournament, I keep forgetting that they still have enough players that they can have brackets for. No, a Class A player will never face a Class B player.
Right.
Which, great. To me, that makes it in a lot of ways feel like Karata's not that niche of a sport, really. Or they just might be in the place where all the big tournaments are, because they get a lot of people showing up to these things, it seems.
It is one of those, it is very eye-opening when you're in a niche thing and then you realize you actually go to a tournament and you see how many people show up or don't show up, you know, and like what's considered a big turnout, you know?
Right.
Where it's like, oh, this is a big turnout for this fencing tournament. There were like 30 people there.
Well, no, and it's just in the Class A room alone, there were about 50 people.
Yeah.
And so the Class B one must have been bigger.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like,
and in
bigger.
order, especially in order to get into Class A, you have to win a Class B tournament or get, second place twice.
Yeah, I think the main thing about it, and this is probably where, again, niche is as,
Yeah, that's a spectrum.
It's a spectrum, but it's still the thing of where this is a countrywide sport.
Right.
So if a tournament happens and you only get so many people, that's one thing. But if you count actually how many tournaments there are and how many unique players show up to each of them, that's probably where you get the real numbers of, oh God, this is a niche sport.
Right. Like you see the same faces, at a lot of the different tournaments because, a lot of Class B players are trying to get to A. Or once
the Class A pool is really small.
The Class A pool is really small, and the people that got there worked really hard to get there. So they're going to take every opportunity they can get to play against people that will actually challenge them.
Not that hard. The sport isn't that big, I say this as somebody who plays in a niche sport, so it's just something that I
Niche hobbies are fun.
Niche hobbies are fun, and in a lot of ways they're kind of important because I would say then you as a person have a bigger weight than you would in a more larger sport or community to carry the torch of that community.
Yes, yeah,
and
absolutely.
Be a good representative for it.
Yep, have a sense of like mutual ownership and and responsibility for it. Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yep.
Gotta say though, kind of a hard pivot, but this episode gave us so many cool visuals with regards to things like Arata's playstyle being like an ocean that they were swimming in, and the difference in the way that playing looked like to the two other characters here of one who's just drowning in the bottom of the ocean.
Yep,
dark,
sad boy
deep,
in the darkness.
cold,
Yeah.
Whereas Chihaya sees the motion.
Yeah.
She sees
rush.
the light.
Yeah.
She sees the activity. And it doesn't deaden her excitement. It awakens it.
Yeah.
It's something that's kind of fun where in a visual medium like anime, when a character loves somebody, and not necessarily in just the romantic desire kind of love, but in the you love to look at and behold a person.
Okay.
The visual medium being used for this is just really fun.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So that's one of the many reasons why I love anime, but also just this show doing
it has a lot of fun with it.
Something so fun with it. Yeah. It's really cool. But wow.
Good stuff.
Great stuff. But okay. Arata's back. He did not give Chihaya the email or contact info and stuff. And I love the kind of cheeky Taichi way he was both a coward and not a coward here.
Right. He didn't just crumple it up and throw it away.
Right.
He gave it back to him, and he's like,
it
"No,
back to him and said,
personal boundary, bro.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
fucking way am I going to be your, like, wingman, give you the number to the girl that I like if you're not going to be willing to do it yourself. Do it yourself, dude.
Yeah. I have been in the trenches so long.
Yeah.
And I am a coward. I'm too scared to do this.
Right.
For years, I could have done this. I did not.
Yeah.
Yes, and then you throw it in my face that, I'm kind of surprised you guys aren't a couple. I thought, I just wanted to make sure.
Oh, yeah.
I know, man.
Guess what?
Yeah.
I've been there at the edge of that cliff for a long time, and I've been doing the numbers, and let me tell you.
It doesn't look good.
I know how that goes.
Right. So the point of, I know because I'm giving this to you now, also at the very end of things here, not right when you gave it to me. Because I had to resolve a little bit of my own stuff before I could come back to you with this here.
Yep.
He knows statistically as well that Arata's not likely to then give it to Chihaya.
Sure.
So what he's also doing is saying, I will basically make the decision, statistically likely, that you won't. You won't take this.
I'm not going to push you towards her and be like, give it to her, right? Like I'm just gonna be like, balls in your court, dude. You know?
And I think that you're right. That it is a personal boundaries thing. I honestly wouldn't do this either if I was Taichi.
Oh yeah, no.
Now, if I didn't like the girl, then maybe there'd be a slightly bigger chance. But also, even still, I probably wouldn't do this. I would say in general that, if I'm like super close, like it's you basically, like maybe, but I still think there's so much lost if you're not the one doing it. It's like, what are we in high school? It's like, yes. It's like, oh, God damn it.
There's a big difference between, well, no, never mind. I was going to say, if you ask someone like, oh, what's this person's number? And then that makes the person be like, hey, they're wanting your number. Is it cool if I give it to you? Or if I give it to them, kind of a thing?
Right, there's agency on both parties.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But
parties, I mean.
Yeah, but asking someone else, it's basically the, will you pass this note? And it's like, nuh-uh. Don't, you can do better.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I get that these are high schoolers, right? So, it's high school. But, like...
Bro. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on. It is kind of fun, though, that the love triangle stuff avoids a lot of the melodrama by keeping everybody, and I mean everybody in it, in the unspoken category. They all are basically not speaking about the things.
Right.
So then in some ways you could also look at this show and be just kind of a dunce and be like, there's no love triangle. What are you talking about?
Yes. So, okay. I give Chihaya a lot of shit because of all of the suffering that Taichi's going through and stuff.
But realistically...
But realistically, no. The fact that Chihaya is so oblivious is actually incredibly important for the story, because there are few things less like engaging and like that make you dislike a character more than them being like, I like both these people and I just don't know. Whereas instead we get the thing that we do facepalm at her for, of the I just feel so wrapped up in Arata's Kurata, and I just want to swallow it up, and when I think of him, I think of this poem that most people think of as a love poem, and it totally works as a love poem, but I think of it as a friends that were separated poem that also is totally a love poem. But is there anything to read into that? Definitely not. I'm just talking about how this poem is about two friends.
No, totally. It's a fun I would say gender bend of a typical clueless clueless dude that doesn't realize that they have two people in love with them, but then also are in love with one of them.
Right. Yes.
And just won't be able to confess their feelings because they're so obsessed with their one other thing.
Right. Yes. Yeah. It's so a twofold thing.
It's multiple tropes stacked on each other, but what I like about it is that nobody's actually talking here. So therefore, we don't need to get frustrated at the lack of progress here.
Right.
Because all three of them are on different grinds. And those grinds are very engaging.
Exactly. And the tension of the situation is part of what gives the enjoyment. We want to see it progress, but the fact that the characters are in a place where at least the one of them is oblivious to the situation, and also on top of that, we know who they will pick. We know who they like, right? Then we can basically just keep sort of putting it off and see how it causes the characters to grow and develop as they struggle with it.
But good stuff. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode, the reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel, see if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.